Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, it is Wednesday. I always start to feel a little bit of my energy coming back when we get close to Wednesday, like Tuesday night. I really start thinking about gratitude and what I'm going to talk about on Wednesday morning on the Daily Drive, because on Wednesdays, we always talk about gratitude, right? On Wednesdays, we wear pink. On Wednesdays, on the Daily Drive, we talk about gratitude. And today is going to be no different. That's what we're going to get into today. My eyes are feeling pretty close. Excuse me. Took too deep of a breath right there. My eyes are feeling pretty close to being back to normal. So I've got my lighting right, trying it with the ring light today for the first time since having my LASIK, so I'm excited about that. Y'all say hey when you hop on. Like I was saying, we always talk about gratitude on the Daily Drive on Wednesdays, and today is going to be no different. We are going to get back to doing the Daily Drive worksheet together. My life has been a little bit hectic lately. I've had a lot of things happening. I had LASIK a couple of weeks ago to correct my eyes, and then right when I was feeling better from that, y'all, I'm sorry, but I started my period, and if you followed me for any amount of time, you know that I have a uterine fibroid, and so that's just not really fun when you're on your period. And so the last couple of days have been super emotional, super hormonal for me. I've been like a bit overwhelmed. It's felt like I couldn't control it, but I have still found ways to get in control of those emotions. And so I'm really excited that it's Wednesday and we can talk about some gratitude. I'm super grateful for the LASIK journey and that I can sort of, get back to normal now. I wore sunglasses when I went on a walk yesterday, and it was pretty awesome. One of the reasons that I wanted to fix my eyes is because we started this Mickey Disney ears collection, and I quickly learned that I wasn't going to be able to wear them comfortably with glasses, with having to wear glasses, because the ears are here, and so I was never able to wear my glasses, and so one of the things that I was never able to wear my ears with the glasses, and so one of the things I'm doing is just wearing different Mickey ears for a while when I do the Daily Drive, and like my bangs in my ponytail look kind of fun with the ears. But these are the rose gold ears. These were the next ears up. We have all of them hanging around the, what do you call it? Like the border of the ceiling or whatever, in our living room. My husband's done a lot of work to 3D print little Mickey shaped ear holders to hold them all. And so they're kind of like a decorative collection, or collection that's also decoration. Anyway, these are the rose gold ones. They came out a couple years ago, and if you're a Disney fan, like, these sold out as soon as they came out. Rose gold was a big deal a couple of years ago. And so I didn't get these when they first came out, and I was super bummed because, if you're like a Disney collector, this is part of the like ear collection that you have to have. If you're one of my Disney friends and you have the rose gold ears, let me see them in the comments. But anyway, they were sold out, and so I couldn't get them. And so when they finally re-released them and stocked them back up, my mother-in-law, I think, or my sister-in-law, y'all, I'm sorry, but sometimes they run together, in-laws took care of grabbing the rose gold ears. I'm pretty sure it was my mother-in-law, took care of grabbing the rose gold ears when they restocked them as soon as she saw them, and she sent them to me. So I'm super grateful that I have family that I can get things like that from. So these are the rose gold ears. Next up, I have a whole bunch more to go. Like I was saying, on Wednesdays, we talk about gratitude, and that is because practicing gratitude, incorporating gratitude into your daily life and into your mindset work literally and physically changes the chemical makeup of your brain. It allows you to take control. It allows you to redirect thought processes. It just allows you to live a lower stress life where you're handling things better. And so we spend a lot of time talking about gratitude. That's also because when I started my mindset journey, I learned that even though I live with anxiety every single day, I can incorporate a gratitude practice into my life to both help me become aware of my thoughts and then also to help me redirect my thoughts and focus on the right things. So that's what we're going to get into today. Again, say hey when you're on, drop a sunshine in the comments. Let me know that you're watching. I love interacting with you guys, especially now that I can see you guys and see what is happening. So again, if you followed me for any length of time, you probably know that I love watching murder documentaries. I love jumping on Netflix and finding murder documentaries to watch, whether it is, Tiger King, which I recently watched like 3 times. I always thought that that was fake, like scripted. And when I learned that it was real, I had to watch it. And so I watched it, it's a complete train wreck. But anyway, I like murder documentaries. Well, I was on Netflix this morning trying to find something to watch, and I found a show called Jailbirds. It's not a murder documentary necessarily, but it is a documentary where they're filming people that are in jail, right? And so people are in jail for what? Drugs, murder, battery, whatever, all of the things. And so just follow me because I find inspiration anywhere I can, y'all. I find inspiration anywhere I can. And so we're going to get to like the inspiration of this, but it had me cracking up this morning, y'all, and I have to know, okay, if I'm friends with anybody that's been in jail, and no judgment, because again, if you know me, those of you that have known me for a long time, I've been engaged twice before marrying my husband, and my second fiance was in jail for like 4 months while we were together. So like, no judgment, like I get it, I know, stuff happens, not judging anybody. So if you've been in jail and you know about toilet talking and toilet fishing, like please let me know if you have done this, because like I was fascinated and grossed out by this at the same time. Y'all, people that are in jail, at least in this particular show that I was watching called Jailbirds on Netflix, the jail that they're in is like a high-rise jail, so it's like multi-levels, and so these inmates have figured out how to talk to each other through their toilet system. Like they flush all the water out of the toilet and like use cups and toilet paper rolls and stuff to like magnify their voice, and like they figured out how to talk to each other in the jail. And since they figured out how to talk to each other in the jail, they figured out how to pass stuff back and forth in the jail through the toilet system with each other. And so like they wrap stuff up in plastic baggies and like attach it to, like they take their undershirts and cut them up and like make a long string and attach it to it and like flush it down their toilet and connect it with somebody else's toilet and like pull, like it's crazy. I want to know if you've ever been in jail, if you know about this, if you've done this. I don't know if it's just in this one particular jail or if that's like a thing that happens, but they call it toilet talking and they call it toilet fishing, and like they even go so far as like meeting people on through talking on the toilet, and they call it like, they say like I met them on the bowl. Like they're dating people that they've met talking back and forth in the toilet, and they're like, oh, I met so-and-so on the bowl. And like, it was just fascinating to me, like figuring out things like that. Again, no judgment, like I'm laughing because it's just silly, but like no judgment. If you've been in jail, I want to know if you know about this, if you have done toilet talking or toilet fishing or whatever. I'm getting to the motivation and where I found motivation in this show. Again, it's called Jailbird. So if you've been in jail, no judgment. Tell me about toilet fishing or toilet talking if you know about it. If you don't know about it, go on Netflix and find Jailbirds and watch it and teach yourself about toilet fishing. So anyway, motivation. Where am I bringing this to motivation? So I'm watching this show. I'm watching Jailbirds, right? And there's always people in jail that are super good at manipulation. And we've talked about this a little bit before because this is also something that I find motivation in, that gives me a ton of motivation. So we've talked about it before on a Motivation Monday. But there's all of these people in jail that have done all of these things, right? They've killed somebody, they've sold drugs, they've done whatever, right? And they're super good at manipulating people. They're really good at getting under people's skin, like finding ways to almost control people, right? And so I was watching this show, and there's one girl that, she does something, gets in a fight with somebody, whatever, and so they put her on lockdown. She's not allowed to come out of her cell for like 10 days or something unless she's coming out alone to go like take a shower or whatever. So she's on lockdown, right? And she's talking to these other two girls just through the window of her cell, and just through a conversation with these people through the window of her cell, these other two girls go to like fight somebody else just because they've had this conversation with the girl that's locked up in her room, because she's already done this before. And so it had me thinking about how easy it is for some people to let their control be given to someone else, right? So they got into this conversation about whatever, and, it upset whoever. And so they lost control of their own mindset because of whatever this other girl manipulated them into thinking. And then they took action on that, but going a step further to go fight somebody else, right? And I know that these things happen in jail. I know that these things happen in real life. Again, I was engaged to somebody that was in jail for like 4 months. And so I've went through the like putting money on the phone, sending him money so he can buy ramen, like all of that stuff. I've been through it. Like, I'm not judging. But it just had me sitting there thinking how easy it is for some people to let go of the control that they have over their mind and allow someone else's words to influence their action. All they did was have a conversation through a glass window. And then these other two girls were ready to go fight someone just because of that control that this person knows that they can manipulate someone into letting go of, right? And so it had me sitting there thinking about how grateful I am that I have done the work, the growth, the personal development, the mindset things, the journaling, the crying, the emotions, whatever. I've done the things to get in control of my mind. And so not only do I find motivation in the fact that I can redirect and control my mind, but I'm grateful for that. And it all kind of loops together, because being grateful for the fact that I can stay in control of my mind, or I can take back control of my mind, being grateful for that allows me to stay in control of my mind, right? And then being motivated by all of that just keeps the circle going, right? And so even though the last couple of days kind of felt like uncontrollably emotional for me, let me know in the comments if you're still following me. Give me a 1 in the comments if you have ever felt emotional to the point where it feels like it's just out of your control, where it feels like you just can't get it back. Like you can go back and look through my stories the last couple of days with being on my period and having extra hormones from that, and then extra hormones in general because I have the fibroid, and then just all of the things. The last couple of days have been super emotional for me. Like, I literally cried from the time my husband left to go to work yesterday until we went to sleep last night. Like, even while he was home, I cried. Like, we went to Taco Bell and I ate Taco Bell because it's comforting to me, right? Like, I didn't eat lunch yesterday because I was home alone, like crying, like whatever, right? And it felt like I was not in control of it. It felt like I was out of control, emotional. It felt like I was just spiraling and the emotions weren't going to stop. But beneath that, the fact is that I'm in control of all of that, right? I did things throughout the day to stay on top of that. I redirected my thoughts and got things done. I got up and made the bed, You know, sometimes when I was feeling emotional, I got up and did some dishes. I took Elliot for a walk, my bearded dragon. We went for like a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood in the sun. Like if you live in Lakeside and you see the girl with pink hair walking around with a little dragon, like that's me, right? Like I do things to stay in control of that, but I also allow myself to feel the emotions, because if we're blocking out the emotions, if we're just trying to like play through the pain and cover it up and like push through and keep going, those are great things to say, but you also have to let the emotion just come out and just be there. If you keep trying to push it down, push it away, you're going to keep allowing the control of your brain, your mind, your thoughts to be up to something else. So even though the last couple of days have been super extra emotional and hormonal for me, I have still been in control of my mind. And I can tell you that if this was like a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, even maybe 6 months ago, I really wouldn't have gotten anything done. I probably would have stayed in bed all day and like cried, right? But I know that I can feel those emotions and still be in control of myself and in control of my thoughts. So while I was sitting there watching this show about these people that are in jail and just completely manipulating each other and getting things out of each other and like whatever it is, getting people to do things for them that are gonna get their own self in trouble, right? Because what happens when you're already in jail and you go get in a fight with somebody? Like you're gonna get in more trouble, right? And it's all because you had a conversation with someone and they put something into your mind. And so it had me sitting there being grateful for the fact that I can be in control of my thoughts. I am grateful that I can stay in control of my mind. I am grateful that when my emotions feel like they're out of control, I can feel it and then I can get back in control of it, right? When you're grateful for being simply in control, when you're grateful for understanding, it's not just being grateful for the fact that you can control your thoughts, right? Because sometimes we feel like it's out of our control. You're grateful for the knowledge, for the fact, for the understanding. You're grateful for simply knowing that you can stop, redirect your thoughts, be grateful, and change it to something else, right? So simply knowing that fact allows you to be aware, right? It allows you to know, I'm thinking something that I don't want to think right now. What do I need to do? I know that I can stop and be grateful and it's going to change my thought processes and what I'm thinking about, right? Give me a sun, give me something if you're still following me, okay? I know it is a fact that I can redirect my thoughts. I can feel emotion, I can think things, and that I can take control and redirect it. It's a fact. So when I feel like I'm spiraling out of control, good morning, Katie. Good morning, Sarah. I think I just now saw those. I don't know how long if y'all have been on, but they just popped up for me. Good morning. Thank you. When I remember, right, when I'm aware that I'm thinking something that I shouldn't be thinking, or that I'm emotional, when I felt some emotions for a little while, when I've cried for a little while, I know it's time to stop. It's time to think about some gratitude. What do I have around me that I'm grateful for? What abundance am I creating? What am I working on? Where is my life? Where do I want my life to go? All of that I start thinking about in the form of gratitude, and I redirect my thoughts. And like I said, even if it's something as small as getting up and making the bed, I literally cried on the couch for an hour, got up and made the bed, probably like peed, and then came back and cried on the couch some more. Got up and did the dishes, probably peed again, and then came back and sat on the couch and cried, right? Brought my laptop into the living room so that I can record daily drives and so that I can blog when I'm thinking certain things, right? And did a little bit of that and then cried. Talked to my husband on the phone, cried on the phone with him, and then got off the phone and cried. Like I redirected my mind and did positive things, but the emotions are still going to be there, especially, sorry guys, but especially ladies when it's our time of the month. And if you're like me, having an extra hormonal, lovely friend along with you during your time of the month, right? Emotions are going to be there. Don't push them away. Don't try to cover them up. Just be grateful that you can take back control and redirect it, right? So I was watching this show again, and this is what made me think about it. Jailbirds on Netflix. If you're just tuning in, tell me if you know about toilet fishing. If you've been in jail, no judgment, but tell me if you know about toilet fishing and toilet talking. Anyway, but these people in jail are manipulating each other simply with words, right? And you can allow yourself to not let that happen by being in control of your mind, by thinking about gratitude, by keeping it all together, right? Don't let the control of your mind be in someone else's hands, in someone else's words, right? Feel those emotions if they're there. Let it be. Let it be there. Feel those emotions, right? But redirect it and think about gratitude. Like I was even sitting on the couch thinking about gratitude while crying, right? Some of the crying was happy crying, right? Because like you're just emotional. My mom sent me a video. If you're in my Becoming Unlimited group on Facebook and you watched that video of the mom and the daughter reciting affirmations in the mirror at the beginning of the day. Like I cried when I watched it, right? Because the hormones are just there. But then I'm grateful that I have this life and I can take back control of it, right? I really want to make sure that we get to the daily drive together today because we start with gratitude on Wednesdays because it's so important. But I want you to understand that it is 100% fact that gratitude changes the chemical makeup of your brain. And when you intentionally use gratitude to stay in control of your mind and redirect your thoughts, it becomes easier the more you do it. That's why we say it's a gratitude practice or having an attitude of gratitude. Give me the little eye roll emoji if you've ever rolled your eyes at those little sayings like attitude of gratitude, because that was me until I understood what it really meant. What it really means. Attitude of gratitude just fully means thinking about gratitude, turning everything back to gratitude. That is how you tune yourself into the abundance that is there for you. Even when you live with anxiety and mental health issues, right? Like I get up every single day. Thank you, Katie. I get up every single day, right? And take my Cymbalta because it helps me to stay in control of all of this, right? I am always pro doing whatever works for you. However, I also have to get to do things that help me stay in control of my mind as well. And one of those things is always gratitude. Whenever I feel my mind slipping, when it's hard for me to fall asleep, when I know that it's time to lay down and go to bed, when my husband and I are done cuddling and whatever we're going to do and I roll over the other way, I start thinking about gratitude. When I want to take a nap on the couch in the middle of the day, I lay down and start thinking about gratitude because it releases hormones into your body that are associated with the feelings of calm, the feelings of bliss, and the feelings of joy. And so when you're thinking about something that you don't want to be thinking about and you intentionally redirect that towards gratitude, you're intentionally releasing those hormones into your body. And in turn, that's going to disrupt that old pattern of thought, that old way of thinking, and it's going to over time slowly start to change it into the new way of thinking. I no longer believe that I'm a victim of my anxiety brain. I no longer believe that I'm not in control of it. I no longer believe that I can't do anything about it because I've learned, I've grown, I've used gratitude to change that thought process so that now I know that I'm in control. Even though I wake up every day with anxiety, with those feelings, I get to take them I get to get control of them and use them and direct them where I want them to go. So do not let someone else's words control your mind, right? We all have our own reasons for saying the things that we say, right? One of the things that I absolutely loved about this show is that we are such a culture that is so used to being told we have to be a certain size body-wise, right? Another girl, one girl in this show called another girl fat, and the girl's response was, I'm gonna be that fat, B-I-T-C-H. And she had it tattooed on her arm, and fat was P-H-A-T-T. It said, I'm gonna be that fat, B-I-T-C-H, on her arm. And she responded to the girl with, I'm gonna be that fat. And I was like, yes, girl. Like, turn that around, right? Be that bad girl. Be that person that you want to be. I don't want to say the B word because I want this to be like family friendly, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? And it just had me sitting here thinking like, yes, I can turn that around and have it be what I want it to be. I love that, Katie, yes. But like, find motivation and be grateful for the fact that you can stop, you can think about gratitude, and then you can redirect your thoughts and take control of them and send them where you want them to go, right? And how do we do that? We do that with things like the daily drive. We use our intentional thoughts to direct us through the day. We use our goals, our tangible, achievable, small step goals, as a map to tell us where to keep our focus. And we use gratitude to make sure that we're keeping our mind in check, right? So we're going to do this together. We're going to get back to doing this together because I need to do it, y'all need to do it, and we're going to do it together, right? But I want you to remember that by simply being grateful for the fact that you can control your thoughts, you can redirect them, it's going to help you. It's going to help you redirect those thoughts just by being grateful for it. So I'm sitting here watching Jailbirds this morning and watching all of these girls get manipulated into fighting other people. And I'm sitting here grateful that I know how to control my thoughts. I'm sitting here motivated and grateful that I can redirect and take control and be the person that I want to be. I'm sitting here thinking about gratitude while I'm watching this train wreck, right? I find inspiration and motivation everywhere I can. Again, go watch Jailbirds on Netflix and then come back and tell me what you think about toilet fishing and toilet talking, okay? Anyway, we're going to get to the daily drive and we're going to start with gratitude because that's what we do on Wednesdays. Usually the beginning of the daily drive is our intentional thought, but since we're already in the mindset of gratitude on Wednesdays, we start with gratitude. So we're going to remember and we're going to be extra grateful today for the fact that we can stop and take control of our brains and use gratitude to redirect our thoughts. So I don't have the daily drive printed out yet. My goal for it is to be one of those like tear off calendar type things where you can have a new daily drive every day, tear it off, write the date on it, set yourself up for success first thing in the morning, and then take this with you, put it in your purse, put it in your notebook, fold it up and put it in your pocket, whatever you want to do. Have your gratitude and your goals with you throughout the day and your intentional thoughts, and keep yourself pushing throughout the day. And then have a new one to tear off the next day, and then have other things like my gratitude silos, which I'll drop in the comments today since it's Wednesday. But right now I don't have it printed out. I just have a notebook, and so I just write it out in a notebook. So we're going to do it together because we want to remember every single day that we can intentionally take control of our lives. Yes, Katie, that is so good, y'all. I gotta shout out my husband. My husband was so good to me yesterday. He talked to me when I needed to talk to him. We went and got Taco Bell last night because I didn't feel like cooking dinner. Like my husband was so good. Yes, and Katie, we've talked about the stuff that your husband does. Like, you have to have that support system in your life. So shout out to the husbands that keep us keep us going when we need them, right? My husband gives me no judgment. He's been telling me for like 4 days, like every hour, that I'm beautiful. And I finally asked him the other day, I was like, why are you just telling me this over and over, like extra? And he was like, because you're on your period and I want you to know. And I just like, oh, I love you. So like, shout out to the husbands and the dudes and the friends that keep us going, right? When we're ladies going through our time of the month. I think Katie's the only person I still got on here with me because it just went down to one like real fast. But anyway, we are going to start with gratitude because it is Wednesday and that's what we're talking about. And we are going to start by being grateful for the fact that we can take control of our minds anytime we stop and start to think about gratitude. Katie, I love you. So the first thing that we're going to do today, again, usually we'll start with our intentional thought, but today we're going to start with gratitude. The first thing that I make sure that I always write when I am thinking about gratitude in any form is that I am grateful for life and breath, because I don't know about y'all, but I know how easily those can be taken away from us. And I always want to make sure that the universe and that God and that the spiritual things in my life know that I'm grateful for the fact that I get to wake up every single day and find new ways to live out my passion and my purpose. So I am always grateful for life and breath. And I always make sure that I write my gratitude statements in the I am grateful for format, because A, it takes 90 seconds to shift energy and emotion in your body. So you want to give yourself that full amount of time. And then B, it also just connects it all together. It connects the hand to the brain to the heart and just puts it all there, gives you that energy, aligns it all together. So my gratitude statements are always in the format of I am grateful for. So I am always grateful for life and breath. I am always grateful for thought control. And so I always like to make sure that I write that, because this is how we stay in control of those thoughts. So I am grateful for thought control. I make sure that I write all of the things that I'm grateful for. This is also where I give myself any positive self-talk or affirmations. Just make sure that your brain knows, or just make sure that you're using the right format, because your brain knows the difference between an I am and an I am in the process of affirmation. And so I just call it positive self-talk. And so this is where I give myself any of that. And you can take as much or as little time as you need to do this in the morning, but I would definitely take at least 90 seconds on the gratitude part so that you're getting into that energy. But then, like I said, my hope for this is that you'll keep it with you and come back to it throughout the day. I throw this notebook in my bag if I'm going anywhere, or I keep it with me in my office with whatever I'm doing. And so then we're going to circle back up to our intentional thought. And your intentional thought is just whatever is going to flip those mindset switches for you. Similar to with my gratitude statements, I make sure that all of my intentional thought statements are in the format of I am committed to, because again, A, it takes 90 seconds to shift energy and emotion in your body. So if I'm already thinking about gratitude and then I'm giving myself even more time with intentional thoughts, it's just all going to work together, right? And then B, it's connecting all of that together and saying I am committed to reminds my brain that I decided that. I made that decision. So what is the next step that I need to take right now? And so today I'm going to write that I am committed to redirecting my thoughts using gratitude. Simple as that. And that is going to remind me, A, I decided this, I made this decision to do this, and B, I'm redirecting my thoughts using gratitude. So what do I need to do? Do I need to journal? Do I need to get out a note on my phone really quick? Do I need to hop on YouTube and find a gratitude meditation? Do I need to call my husband and tell him how thankful I am for him? Do I need to simply just think about, maybe I'm like at the grocery store or something. Do I need to just start thinking, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am great, like whatever it is, this is going to remind me that I decided that and now I'm taking the next step. So I am committed to redirecting my thoughts using gratitude. I am in control. I can use gratitude to be in control of my mind and redirect my thoughts. And then we just talk about goals for the day. And y'all, these are tangible, achievable goals. If you have a large overall goal, that is amazing. You write that somewhere and hang it on your wall. You give yourself a deadline in your planner. You do whatever. But on the daily drive, this is the part for the small step goals to get you there. And that's because you build confidence. You build trust in yourself when you set goals and cross them off, right? How bad do you feel at the end of the day when your to-do list looks the same as it did in the morning? Because you piled on all of these things that logistically you simply wouldn't get done today, right? So you look at your schedule today, you know, if you have to take your kids if you get to take your kids all over the place and spend that time with them, if you get to spend 8 hours at work so that you can pay your bills, if you get to have a doctor's appointment, don't pile on a bunch of things that you won't have time to do, right? Because at the end of the day, we want the confidence and the trust in ourselves, knowing that we set goals and then crushed them. So I am just going to give myself a couple of goals for today. Again, I'm still like kind of feeling a little bit blah, but I need to do some things. I need to get out of the house, get out of the house. So I'm just going to set myself some small goals for today. And then I just make sure that I have a notes for tomorrow section at the bottom, because we don't need to cloud our brain up today with things that we can worry about tomorrow or the next day or whatever. So that's all the daily drive is, y'all. It is that easy to push yourself and drive yourself through the day. You just give yourself an intentional thought, and you can have as many of those as you need to. You set goals. You think about gratitude, you redirect your thoughts using gratitude, and you stay grateful for the fact that you can do that you can be in control of your mind. And it's that simple. The daily drive is done. I'm going to keep this right here for when I'm working in my office today, and then I'm going to throw it in my bag when I go somewhere later, if I go somewhere later, so that I can make sure that I can come back and look at what my intentional thoughts are. I can come back and look at gratitude. I can come back and add gratitude to it. I can just keep myself pushing throughout the day because I set myself up for success at the beginning of the day. So that's why I created the daily drive, and that is why I feel like it is just my passion and purpose to share it with y'all. Because again, I wake up every single day with anxiety, and I get to find new ways every day to stay in control of that, and I want to share it with everyone as often as I can. So go watch Jailbirds on Netflix, and then come back and tell me your thoughts on toilet fishing and toilet talking. But remember, you don't have to give someone else the control of your thoughts. You don't have to be manipulated by someone else. You don't have to allow someone else's thoughts to creep into your positive space. You can stop, remember that you're in control, be grateful for the fact that you're in control, find motivation in the fact that you're in control, and then redirect your thoughts. It's all about using gratitude to redirect your thoughts. So just remember, y'all, please don't give someone else your control. Stay in control of your mind, feel the emotions, and then redirect, take control back using gratitude. Always, always, always be grateful. One of the ways that I show gratitude is with my joy jar. Y'all always go in the joy jar. Today you are my gratitude finders, because you are finding gratitude in everything, even in the struggles, and you are pushing through life. So my gratitude finders, my Facebook family, my supporters, you guys, I love you so much. If you get anything out of this content ever, let me know. Give some reactions, leave a comment, tag a friend, share, all of those things. If you haven't yet, check out dailydrivecoaching.com. That is my website that is up and running. There's all kinds of stuff on there for you. All of these daily drives go on there. There's some blog posts that I'm working on. Lots of content coming. So check out dailydrivecoaching.com. If you want to be a part of my Facebook group called Becoming Unlimited, where you get just a little bit more content about unlimiting your thought processes and living with anxiety plus these daily drives, let me know. That is a free group. We are having an invite party tonight so that you can increase your chances to win this Fitbit. just for being a supporter in my group. So make sure you join Becoming Unlimited or let me know. Make sure you turn on notifications for me and for the group so that you are informed when I go live and you don't miss any of the content. I'm always, always, always grateful for y'all. Just remember that you are in control of your mind. Use gratitude to stay in control of your mind and be grateful for the fact that you're in control and you can redirect your thoughts using gratitude. I love y'all so, 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 so much. I am so happy to be back to my regular, normal energy to do the daily drive together. I will drop this in the comments again. If y'all get anything out of this, let me know. It brings me so much joy to interact with y'all. Make sure you turn on notifications again. And remember to just use gratitude to stay in control and redirect your mind. You are in control. Don't let someone else invade your brain space. I love y'all so much. Happy Wednesday.